I'm out on Lake of the Woods, and I'm here to show you guys that you can DIY this lake. This is a complete guide for those of you that want to come up, stay, bring your own boat, and find some fish. I have Greg Jones here with me. He has been fishing the waters for 40 years. He works a lot with the tourism here and with the resorts, and he's going to help walk you guys through what to expect when you plan your trip to this lake.
If you catch fish, that's what you expect to do, Nicole.
Yeah.
Nice, look at that. Beauty. Is that
Awesome.
silver or gold?
Yeah, silver.
Silver, I thought I saw silver. Right there. Perfect walleye. That right there is a good example of the fish we're catching on Lake of the Woods. There's a lot of fish in that 16 and 19 inch year classes. That's probably about 2-3 year classes in there. Right now they're up shallow. Sand fishing this time of year. The bait likes to come in here. There's some actually shiners that spawn in here, and these fish follow them right in. Fun way to catch them.
That's a nice fish.
Yeah, good one. Here's a nice Lake of the Woods walleye. That one's probably 18, maybe 18 and a half.
I want something bigger.
We're using spinners with the bottom motors, and I had silver.
This is a traditional spinner rig. We're running that on a bottom bouncer. You could, in this shallow water, also run a bullet sinker. One little nuance about Lake of the Woods, this is probably 48, maybe a little longer. A lot of them will come packaged at 4 foot. That lead's about, that's probably 30 inches. So a shorter lead. This comes packaged this way, and it's made by a local manufacturer, but there's a reason to run them shorter up here. They catch more fish, so a lot of times things you buy, more for clear water lakes, you want to shorten those spinner leads up and bring them down to less than 3 feet, and you will see an improvement in your bites and your hookups. We're in 7-8 foot. It's probably a 3-ounce bouncer. You wouldn't need it to be that heavy in here, but we're not that far from 15 to 20 foot, so that's one of the great things about a bouncer and a spinner, especially here on Lake of the Woods, the versatility. There's no weeds to fight in the lake, so you can take this rig and go pull it out in 32 foot, or you can pull it in 25 or 20, and it's gonna catch fish in all those places. But that's a nice one. It's another one of them that's right there at 19.
Healthy fish. Hammered it, doing nothing.
Well, that's when they're up here shallow like this. It's always opener till about late June, before the bug hatches start.
Oh, that's a nice one.
I got it for you.
Sweet.
Yeah?
It's nice. That's a nice fish, though. It's not big, but it's a good eater. Good job.
Spinner off.
Nice fish, Greg.
Lots of them in the lake like that. That right there. Nice Lake of the Woods eater. We're gonna throw him in the box. But we're talking Lake of the Woods. It's a big place, so it's a lot of good spots to fish. Doesn't matter if you're down by the river, if you're on the south shore, the northwest angle. The patterns are seasonal. It also includes Rainy River, and that's kind of where the open water fishing starts. You could be 30-40 miles from Wheeler's Point up the river fishing in the springtime. Once you get the opening day, same area we're fishing all the way around the lake, the shorelines, you're gonna be fishing 15 to 20 foot of water. That's a jig bite that time of year. The fish are concentrated. They don't want to chase much, but it's legendary up here for jig fishing. Once the water warms up, we're pushing up to 67, 68 degrees. There's a shiner spawn that goes on in the sand in the lake, right in front of Pine Island, here on the south shore, up in the angle. Any place you find sand, you can see the bait near thick, and this bite will hold, and it's a great shoreline bite. We're 100 yards offshore. Anywhere you get the sand right now, shiners move into the sand this time of year, and then fish follow. Now in a couple weeks, we're gonna start to see bug hatches, and these fish are gonna push out into the lake. They're gonna, the basin is mud, They got a lot of different things to eat out there. Tulibee, when the lake starts to cool back down, them fish are going to come right back to the shoreline again. You'll see the bait pile up in that 20 to 25 foot. The fish will be right with them. And you can come back into the shallows on the right day and catch fish like that. But that's basically the seasonal progression.
Nice one, Matt.
There you go.
Beauty. So we are bottom bouncing in sand right now, and sand makes your side imaging really easy to interpret because those marks are going to be really evident. They're going to be dark, they're going to have a little bit of a shadow. But when you are doing this slow troll, it's going to be such an effective way to shift on the fish. We're just riding a break right now, and I can look out both sides and see if the fish are a little bit out farther, a little bit deeper, or if they're a little bit shallower.
Fish, shadow, just to help you guys out a little bit.
This evening, they're obviously gonna be shifting in a little bit shallower, so it does help us make sure that we're keeping our lines in front of those fish where they are most congregated. So when you're out here, the nice thing is fishing is so good, you don't have to have anything fancy, but if you do have your electronics, it's awesome to take advantage of them because they will help you turn over more fish.
There's a concentration. Actually, this just makes a little bit of a bay right. Oh, that's huge.
Oh, we're racking up the numbers.
Oh, yeah. All right, but it is a good bite, that's for sure. When these fish get up shallow like this, they are aggressive. The water temps up and gets them chasing around. The one thing we're seeing, it's all walleyes here. So if you did want to catch some saugers, you'd have to bump out a little deeper, 25, 28. But again, that that pattern of the shorelines basically starts right at opener. It's jig fishing, then that cold water, those fish don't want to chase a lot. Once the water warms up, Memorial Day weekend into the first couple weeks of June, that's when the spinners and the crankbaits will do great here. You can still catch fish on jigs, but it seems like if you're moving, you'll catch more. Basically all of July into early September, that's when those fish will start coming back to the shorelines in these same areas. You'll be jigging all September and October when the water temps drop again. Okay, I'll get the net.
Mine's small, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a nice one. Did you get him?
Yeah.
Both the spinning and the jig fishing, that's live bait fishing, or bait fishing they'll call it. Up here, one of the unique things is the shiner minnows, and actually that sand we were fishing on, those shiners are packed in there tight right now. That's why the fish are there. We did mention jig fishing to start the year off. Those emerald shiners, whether they're alive or frozen, doesn't really make any difference. They're the best bait you can use up here. So if you're jig fishing early or late, you want to be using the shiners. Once we get into the spinning crawlers, that pretty much will do it just about every day. When you get into July, you're going to find some days when the leeches are going to rule the world. It seems like about the time you can't get leeches anymore, the fish really take a hankering to them. You can always run a minnow on a spinner out there too, but usually on the spinners, it's going to be the crawler or the leech.
So being on bigger water can be kind of intimidating, but that's where just making sure you do your homework and you watch the weather and just make sure that you are planning towards the wind is going to be key. Obviously, if you're fishing the south side, it's going to be key to watch that north wind because not a lot of wind coming in from the north is going to give you a lot of issues. But if you are good at just staying up to date on the weather, watching the conditions as they're happening live, you can even take your smaller boats, just like we have today, in 18.5-foot aluminum, and you can truck it across the lake. The key is just to make sure that you stay informed regarding that, because Lake of the Woods is really doable for anyone, as long as you keep the weather in mind.
Riverbend Resort is my go-to destination on Lake of the Woods. They have a restaurant on site, beautiful cabins. They also offer charter services and boat rentals, which is a perfect option for you if you do not want to make a trek with your boat or if you want to fly in. For more, be sure to visit them at riverbendresort.com.